Overlanding to India, episode 28. A family visit to a traditional Zanskar home. As some of you might know, we came to Zanskar to honor a long-lasting friendship between two families. 3 decades ago, my parents traveled to this remote place. Their idea was to discover an unspoiled Buddhist country. Now, 30 years later, we follow on their footsteps. Our first stop in the day is in the small village of Karsha. Here is a benefit event with traditional Ladakhi dancing and singing. A lot of local people are attending. It's a bit windy today. "30 years ago, Angmo was a little girl in a school. Through her school years and years in university, we kept contact. After achieving her master's degree, she even visited us back in old Europe. Now it's time to pay her a visit back. Angmo is nowadays married with a very nice chap called Galden. He's actually the one who brought us to this place. They have together a lovely child called Dazil. First, we are invited to Angmo's home. It's wonderful to see that her door is always open for friends and family. Here you can see her aunt playing with the child while we prepare for going out. But mommy has to put her jacket on. First, we pay a visit to Angmo's parents. In the past, this would be a 2-day hike from Padum. Today, there is a road leading directly past the house. Angmo's parents have a little farm and they are fully self-sufficient. So we got a very warm welcome and the family here with these beautiful scarves, and we feel really at home at this family. Thank you. Thank you. We are invited for lunch with all homemade products from their own farm. I've got for the first time in my life salty tea. Let's see how it tastes. Yeah, you can get used to it. Here we have homemade yogurt from the own cows. And this is homemade barley. And then you put them together and you can eat it. The next try is arak. It's a local wine, let's say like vodka, made from barley. Yeah, it's not as strong as vodka, but you recognize the taste. Then we are given a tour around this traditional Zanskari house. Let me share this a little bit with you. Here we have a second living room. And it was just explained that here, behind this curtain, it's a small prayer room. And it also smells like it. And this is the bedroom. Now let's have a look outside. So here is dried dung for heating in the winter time, and there's a haystack to feed the animals. But what a view, guys, what a view. Hallo! The parents of Angmo are completely self-sufficient. Here's a small greenhouse they have. They have the animals, they have their vegetables, and this is the traditional style of living. They make their own wool from their own animals, then they weave the wool into garments and make here their own clothes. This is the stove which is used in winter and put inside for heating with cow dung. Here we have the family stupa, built by grandfather himself. Although at first glance it seems to be idyllic up here, we are very aware that it takes a lot of hard labor to survive over here. We are now approaching the village where Norden comes from. The road is steep and narrow. And dirty. Yeah. Norden is the oldest daughter of Angmo's oldest brother. Norden is today in the University of Chandigarh, and we will visit her in a later video. This is probably the most remote place I've ever been. It is also the village where Angmo was born. First we will visit her brother's new home. It is located directly next to a small creek. Also here we receive a very warm welcome. Jule is the traditional greet in Zanskar. Outside you can look into a small valley and you see a yak standing there. It is already late afternoon, so it's slowly getting dark. Time to go for a quick stroll through the village. Obviously, Angmo knows everyone in town. First we walk towards the old family home. There is a beautiful view over the village and the surrounding fields. On the way up we meet a very old woman. Probably she's far into her 80s. Climbing up the steep path at these altitudes make me feel the same age. First we enter the roof of the old house. Today it's mainly used for storage, but the view is still great. Here we enter the house where Angmo was born. Today it's uninhabited. It's old, but let's take a look here. And here we come into the living quarters. I've just shown you how deep it is here. We're now basically on the second floor. This is the original living room, and next to it there is a sleeping room. Where the girls used to sleep. Look at the wooden ceiling. We were just standing on top of that. There's just some mud on top of it. Let's say this way. At some point in time this may collapse. From the main hall there are more side rooms.
Careful, careful. It's too low.
Here's the stove. And this is the room with the view to two sides.
Yeah, here's a view. You can see.
Here's the
It's
view.
very beautiful, yeah. See.
This is the central hall of the house, and you can see by the flags and decoration on the ceiling that it has been used even for the wedding of Angmo's brother. Today it's mainly used for storage here of wheat and barley, and here's even a secret storage of grain. And it's full. So in the past the family used to have horses, and this is the last things remaining from that. from the central hall, there's even one more room, and it's the prayer hall, and it hasn't been opened for a long time.
You can go inside, but I can't come. After marriage, we can't go inside the prayer hall.
Oh, ladies are not allowed to go in?
No. After marriage,
After marriage?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
you can go in with it.
Oh, there's even a candle burning here. Wow.
Okay.
And there are sacred scrolls in here. The room is completely baffling me. Apparently, the tankas, statues and scrolls are up to 300 years old. Now that is what I call a family tradition. We are honored that we are allowed to visit this sacred place. In other places of the world, these kind of places have been destroyed. Not even that far away from here. Also here we see the spiritual leader of the Buddhists, the Dalai Lama. The whole atmosphere in this place of worship is very serene. It also shows a deep faith and a spiritual connection with these lands. I just hope that these kind of traditions can be preserved for the next generations. Then it's time to climb up a rock which towers above the village. Julie. Ah. A brand new staircase leads us to the top. This is a recently constructed Maitreya Buddha on the top of the mountain above the town. Next to it here are very old engraved stones, also with statues. Look at that. From the Maitreya Buddha you look up on the town, and there on the left top corner there is a gompa or monastery. One always has to walk clockwise around the Buddha. Please remember that. When we descend and back down, it's almost dark, and the local farmers are bringing their cattle back home. They have been grazing on some fields nearby. Then we notice that it's possible to walk underneath the local stupa. Inside the stupa there is an old Buddhist painting. Incredible. Normally you hardly get the chance to look inside these constructions. I'm just happy that I carry my flashlight all the time with me. It's the city shop, well, town shop.
Village shop. So when we rotate it, like it feels like we are reading the books, and we just have a feeling that we get some blessing. Okay, make some prayers before meal. Yeah, it's your plate, so this is mine. Okay.
We are kindly invited for an evening meal with the whole family. Homemade barley beer with fresh barley inside. When we head home through the dark night, we have a lot of images to process in our heads.